You guys gotta be so proud of me because I actually record during the daytime. Yes! It only took me 4 videos. Finally, during the daytime, it is 4:09 p.m. right now. Very obvious that's during the daytime because the lighting is crazy right now. I have my window open, so there is so much sunlight going on. I also changed the camera lens. Hopefully, a lot better quality, maybe. I don't know. But if I go out of focus sometime, somewhere, I'm so sorry. Still trying to figure out a nice setup for this lens. Other than that, welcome back to my channel. I am in my own walls. I am in your walls. I am in everybody's walls. Hopefully, I can be out of the walls sometime soon. Maybe not now, but we all can help. For this week's story, we will be continuing from the forum that I found last week. Last week was part 1 with 7 stories. This week is part 2. I will also do 7 stories. Once again, I will be linking the stories in the description below if you want to go ahead and read all of the stories or read along with me or things like that. Let's begin part 2. First story, Diversion. When you sleep, your mind has long ago learned to cut out regular, repetitive sounds so they don't bother you. A near primitive trick so that early humans were able to get rest in spite of thunderstorms, buzzing crickets, the distant chatter of other people. They are deemed safe sounds by the unconscious brain. In more modern times, we've grown accustomed to the noise of traffic, the soft world of air conditioning systems, and of course, the crickets are still there. If you ever hear one of these in the dead of night amidst a backdrop of silence, be wary. Even if you're exhausted, even if you have an early start in the morning, try to keep a sharp ear to find out if the sound is a little different. Most nights, it's nothing, but if you drift off, you won't hear how the sound gradually starts to distort. When you sleep, your mind doesn't have the higher capacity to catch this and pull the alarms. When you sleep, you can hear it come, but it won't register. That constant chirping or mechanical rumbling it emits will have masked its entry when it comes to feed. Should you wake up again in the middle of the night, then breathe easier because it means it's made a hash of things, most likely having deviated too far from its sound mimicry that it roused you from slumber. Consciousness is an anathema to it. If the sound has stopped, then it has fled. If it returns, it's planning to go for another round. Just try not to fall asleep. It rarely fails the second time. I don't know, I feel like I think I think I think I'm a very light sleeper. If I hear like a slight sound, I would wake up. But then again, if I hear a sound and I know that it's not a normal human sound, I'm gonna pretend that I never woke up and I'm gonna stay asleep. And honestly, if it's coming for me, I hope it's quick. I hope it's quick. I love how all these stories I'm reading is all about you should be careful if it comes for you, but it's like I have no will to live. I promise I'm fine. I promise I'm fine. I'm really fine. But I just feel like if you ignore it, it will go away. That works in most cases. So if you hear sounds at night and you think that it's not like a normal sound, it's not your cat, it's not your dog, it's not something the house itself would make, maybe you should just pretend you never hear in the first place and just continued sleeping. Yeah. Next story. They were listed as naughty. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. No, he's not. It's August. Like, the next season is autumn. So, he's not coming. Shut your mouth, boy. Just shut up and plow. Paul quickly tightens his lip, dig with the shovel, and haul all the snow. It was nearing sunset, and Paul was working all day and half of the afternoon, shoving all the snow out from his stepfather's front porch. The weariness of his arms left him that morning. Now all he feels is pain. Pain from every heap of snow he has to clear, and pain from a full day of this work. He should not do this job, really. A 10-year-old child should play and be merry during a Christmas holiday. Paul saw a car pass him by. Inside the car was a father, mother, and a daughter. They were singing. At least they looked like they were singing. They were probably singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town. If not, there's some other Christmas carol then. Whatever it is, they look happy. All people should be happy. It's Christmas Eve. Paul tried to be happy by singing, but he was not permitted even that. Paul's stepfather stood up, eyed him disdainfully, and proceeded to enter the house. You better clear all the snow before your mother shows up or you have no dinner. Got that? He said before he shuts the front door. Paul looks down, wished that his mother would come home early, and sang Santa Claus is Coming to Town in his thoughts. Paul saw his mother getting out of a taxi cab. She was carrying some shopping bags. There were two. Paul felt a little better. Mother got me a present. Paul flashes a big smile as his mother walked towards him. He smiles as she went past him without even a glance. He smiled as he heard the front door close. He is still smiling as he heard his stepfather shout something at his mother for being late. It's about goddamn time you got home. You got what I want? Paul's stepfathers was saying. Ah, here. I also got us a turkey that they were selling for half a price. Now would you look at that? I'm gonna be full tonight. So damn cold outside. It's going to be a freezer tonight. Well, what do you think I'm here for, huh? Paul's stepfather laughs maliciously. It was definitely cold, Paul thought. He was hoping his mother would notice that he was outside. He was hoping that he could eat a piece of that turkey. Paul was waiting for his mother to ask his stepfather to let him in. They were talking. They were watching the TV. They were eating. They went upstairs. It was probably 8 p.m. when finally Paul's mother calls on him. He thought entering the house was going to warm his frozen stiff arms and legs, but it did nothing. His mother locked the front door, turned out the lights, and went upstairs, leaving Paul standing there. If anything, Paul's mother made him even colder. The smell of the roasted turkey was gone. There was, what's left of it anyway, a piece of leftover pizza, his stepfather's lunch that day. He ate it just to put anything in his stomach. There was nothing left to do, Paul thought. So he went to his bedroom and prepared to sleep. It's Christmas Eve. It is nothing but a name, a title, a day. That is what Christmas Eve really is. But Paul woke up just to experience it. He was looking outside his window. He was looking at the Christmas lights, thinking how wonderful that people spent time to hang those. He was looking at houses that Paul thinks is warmer than where he is at now. He was thinking all of these when he heard something. Paul slowly walks toward his bedroom door and peeks. There was nothing. He walks cautiously down to the living room. There, he saw someone. It was someone who everyone around the world has a song of. A man with the iconic red dress and sack. Paul could not contain himself as he impulsively sang right there. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa finished the song. I don't think that's Santa, Paul. I think you should run, Paul. He did not face Paul. Hush, my boy. We do not want your people to know I am here. That will not be good for Christmas. Yeah, that's definitely not Santa. Paul just nodded. Santa stood straight and still. He was motionless. Paul wondered why that is, but did not question him. Go to bed now, dear Paul. Because you have been good, you will get your present tomorrow. So sleep now and worry no more. Paul, knowing this, went to bed as happy as any kid that Christmas Eve will be. Paul woke up by the sound of sirens. It seems to be the outside of his house. In the living room, there were police officers. They seemed to be investigating something. An officer went to him. Son, are you all right? Confused, Paul did not answer. I don't know how to say this, but your stepfather, a Mr. Powell, and your mother, Mrs. Heather, they were found dead. It seemed that the suspect attacked at midnight. By chance, did you hear or seen anything? I'm sorry to ask you this, but anything will help. Paul just stared at him. The police officer put a blanket on him and consulted another police. Poor kid, said the other officer. Poor parents. God, whoever it was, they butchered them. I mean, do you see it? Yeah, no head, arms, legs. What I wonder is, how the heck did he do that without a fight? Clean cuts, and where the hell are the body parts? That's not possible. It was Santa Claus. Paul, out of his reverie, said, Got that. Suspect was probably wearing a red shirt by account of, it was Santa. We even sang together. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Paul, I don't blame you. If I had parents like you, I'll probably want them dead too. Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But it seems like his parents neglects him, right? His stepfather hates him. His mom doesn't give a fuck about him. I guess Santa Claus at least spare him. Or we can look at it this way, that his wish is to kill his parents. So Santa Claus came to kind of fulfill that wish. Santa Claus is like, here's the best Christmas present that you asked for, which is your parents dead. Now you won't be neglected anymore. You just have no parents, which I don't know. I don't know. Maybe his foster parents are way better people. Thank you, Santa Claus, for not killing 10-year-old Paul. Next story. Voices. Have you ever heard things? You know what I'm talking about? You think you hear something, but you never did. Like when you're in the shower and you think you hear someone calling out, but there's no one there. Or you are at a party and you hear your name. Oh, no, that's not some trick of the brain. If only it were. No, that voice belongs to Death himself. Always calling, hoping you will respond, hoping you will follow. I know that if you ignore it, continue to shrug it off as a figment of your imagination, you'll be fine. But if you call out to see who is downstairs, or if you go looking for whoever said your name at that party, well, some things are best left a mystery. I do hear voices calling me sometimes. I don't believe it's death, but I also don't really... Well, define response. Because if I hear somebody calling my name, I go, like, who's calling? Who's calling my name? Who? You know? But then that's why I don't go follow it. Because usually the person calling my name would come to me. So I don't find the need to follow it. But if death is really calling for me, then death can take me. Death can take me. I need them to stop thinking that I'm scared of dying. I mean, I am, but like at the same time, it's like, if it's my time, it's my time. I'm not fighting it. If death wants me that bad, sure, you can have me. Okay. I'm tired of living anyways. Next story. Stairs. Whenever I turn on the computer, I have a weird fear that maybe there's a virus that puts screamers at the beginning of the startup. Same. Screamers are those abrupt, loud noises with a monstrous picture used to scare you. So like a jump scare. So anyway, I usually keep my sound turned off until I actually logged in. And sometimes it takes a while. One night, I started up and went to the kitchen to fix some food. I came back and the monitor has something on it. Something I've never seen before. A screensaver? I turned the sound on and got this loud, high frequency ambiance. It startled me, so I quickly turned the sound off. At first, I thought this was a screamer. I looked closer to see that the screamer was a picture of a set of stairs. Viewed from the top, the environment looked too familiar. Those were my stairs. I looked back to see the staircase. Was this a joke? I got up and went in front of the staircase and looked back at the computer. Now I could see me at the bottom of the steps. What the hell was this? I flipped the switch at the bottom of the stairs to turn on the lights at the top, but there was just a flash of light, like the light bulb burned out. In that flash of light, I saw something. A shadow of a man, or at least what I thought was a man. Then every light that was on went out. It was pitch black now, and I could feel someone or something near me. Okay. Joke's over, guys, I said nervously. This was no joke. So what do you guys think? You guys think it's an intruder or you guys think it's an entity? Because if it's an intruder, then run. Run. Don't look back or run to the kitchen, grab a knife, fight, whatever you want to do. If it's an entity, then it is what it is. It is what it is. But I hate jump scares. Now that we're talking about jump scares, I hate jump scares. And I hate watching horror movies that have jump scares, even though that's like the selling point of horror movies, I think. But I hate it. I think they're so unnecessary. I think a good horror movie should make you feel scared without any jump scares. Directly from my closet is my computer setup. So imagine if I turn on the computer. It's like daytime right now, but jump scare can still get me in daytime. So now I'm imagining me turning on the computer and then I get a jump scare. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna myself. Please don't. I hate them. The forum post was posted in 2008 and they called this screamers, which okay, yeah. I mean, I have one of those. Like I had friends who send me links and then you click on them and then screamers pop up, like it's a scary face and then scream. And that would scare me. And I have this thing where if I see a jump scare, it stays in my head for a long period of time. So I do not like jump scares at all. I notice my forehead is like cut off. But that's fine, I guess. Next story. Itching. You feel that? That tingling sensation under your skin? Yeah, that's right. The one you felt just then. On your left arm, right? About near your elbow? You don't know what it is, right? It may be just an itch, or it may be something more sinister. What? No, I'm just an old man talking to myself. Well, the hat stays on. Yeah, it's a bit of a quirk. Same with the sunglasses. Even though the sun is setting, it gets a bit glary on the streets. You get bit by something? There's a local legend which. Forget it. I don't want to scare you off. So, here alone? What's your name then, son? That's familiar. Don't know why though. Any family? An accident? That's a real shame. What? The legend. I don't know, man. It's a bit creepy. Well, if you're going to be here, you should know the lore. I doubt you'll stay here for long anyway. You sure you want to know? Okay, I got this information off a friend who got it off some crazy hoodoo priest who claims he's 1,000 years old. Well, he's touched, I guess. Local legend claims that some guy went on a massacre in the late 1800s, messily slaughtered his entire family in a bloodbath. When they finally found the bodies, they got a shock. They were dead. You can't really survive pitchfork decapitation. But other than that, a small line of blood on their necks. They were clean. Had to hunt a while for the murderer, though. When they found him, he was in a bad way. He was covered with dry blood from head to toe and was muttering about some crazy gypsy he had met. He seemed eager to be taken to custody, but always kept twitching and itching. You sure you want to keep listening to this? It gets a bit crazy from here. Well, crazier. When this guy was being washed, and they had managed to remove most of the blood, he kept complaining of an itch that wouldn't go away. Now, everyone thought he meant an insect bite, so they ignored him. The thing is, he did get bit by a bug. He just neglected to mention that. Did he get bit by a spider? Is he Spider-Man? So this poor guy keeps itching at his skin, and then he let out a yelp of bloody murder. Somewhat ironic. And he starts saying that something's coming out of his skin. All the police thought he was nuts. He did kill his family after all, and they just left him. Now this was before video cameras. Hell, it was before pretty much everything. Surveillance then consisted of a guy on the graveyard shift with a gun. The instructions were to shoot if he got violence. Come next morning, they all got a bit of a shock. The guy was slumped against the far wall of his cell, eyes glazed over and staring at nothing at all. Attempts to rouse him were met with no luck. Eventually, the poor all-night guard had to go in and see what happened. He noticed that the guy was unmoving, but his veins were pulsating strangely under his skin. A quick check of the clothing found a scrap of paper with a couple paragraphs written on it. A discarded quill lay nearby, but there wasn't any ink. The guard got out of the cell quickly, and the doctor was brought in. The good doc was an ancestor of mine, so he wrote all of this down in his journals. It was freaky then. Time doesn't do much to douse the creepiness and sheer body horror. The doc's checking the pulse of the guy, and he notes that it feels like there's something in his veins, something like worms. He gets laughed at, but all sound is silenced when the guy just rises. The guy looks messed up. His skin is bulging and his tongue is undulating. He's drooling pinkish slime and his eyes are rolling madly. He made a few attempts to speak and then finally forces 2 words out. Read paper. And his eyes bulge out horribly and his left one pops out. No blood, just a clean socket. The right eye went soon after that. Of course, the police and doctor were freaked, so they had the night guard empty his gun into the poor sap. 6 shots go into the guy and he doesn't fall down. What happens next is pure nightmare. The top of the head starts pulsating rapidly and wildly. White things start coming out. All the cops start shooting the head. Few shots later, and the top of the head is blown clean off, revealing maggots. White maggots that had pretty much eaten his brain away to nothing. The guy finally falls over and his skin crumbles like a paper bag, revealing the grisly truth. The maggots, or whatever they are, had hollowed out his entire body cavity. Nothing was left. The cops and the doc ran out and set fire to the station. They tried to read the piece of paper, but all they could understand were the words gypsy curse. Next day, a patrol found the body of a young gypsy woman. She'd been strangled and raped repeatedly. Maggots were everywhere but her body. 2 cases were linked, but nothing was made of it. Even official records to this day say that the guy was found DOA with his family. So, how's the arm? Still itches, don't it? Well, there's another thing on that story. I don't want to tell you though. You sure? Okay. It's another bit of a local legend from my friend. He says that the full deal was the gypsy placed a curse on that guy's soul, that it would forever wander the town, tell his tale to those who would listen, and then kill them with the maggots. It would take the form of a relative or a descendant and would spin the yarn. That's why everyone's out of the streets now. Yeah, you should go inside. What? Oh, no, don't mind me. I'll be fine out here. I'm a bit of a local legend around here myself. The itching and swelling should go down in a few days. Alright, I'll see you around. I'm sure of it. Let me tip my hat to you, good sir. I can see you leave for the nearest pub, even though I can't really see. I tip my hat to you and feel the light breeze swirl inside my brain case. I won't infect you. You're one of my descendants. I will try that person over there, the one with the itchy arm, or the one reading this. Low-key, I'm a little bitch. Okay, so we have the gypsy curse, which killing people with maggots. I feel like the murderer deserved it. He killed his family and then he R-worded the woman, so he deserved it. Yeah, die in the most painful way. Hard to feel sympathy for a criminal. I really like how the story is written. It's very conversational from, the perspective of you speaking to that guy and that guy speaking to you. Like it's not a third person story, it's first person. And I really like that because it really immersed me into the story. He's talking about the town's legend and I really felt like I was really there. So that was interesting. Pretty well written. I did enjoy reading that. Kind of gross, kind of gnarly. But I've read worse. I've listened to worse. So, but this one's pretty good. Am I scared? No, not really, but yeah. Writing wise, Next story, silence. Try this. Turn off the music, turn off the TV. If you have to, turn off the computer. Then go to another room and sit in total silence. Do you hear that? That ringing? People say it is your brain making up a sound to explain the silence. People lied. I can't tell you what is making that sound, but whatever it is, you don't want to meet it. It is trying to break through, force its way onto our plane of existence. Now try this. Repeat the first steps. Turn everything off. This time, turn the lights off too. Still hear that ringing? Better hope you do. If you don't, it's because they have finally managed to break through, and no amount of running will save you. Why would I sit in silence in the dark? Why would I be in the dark? I don't even sleep in pure darkness. So why would I sit in silence in pure darkness? Guys, if you do stuff that results in bad things happening to you, then I don't know what to say. You're smart enough to make better choices. I'm sorry. That's all I have to say. You smart enough to not be sitting in the dark and inviting entities into your life, into your space to capture you. Because if you really don't want to, then you don't have to. You don't need to. Next story. Headphones. I can tell how you're staring there at the screen, finding some enjoyment. You need anything, just anything to keep you awake and entertained. It's late. You're dead tired, but you want to use up every moment. I know how it is. This happens to me too. Are the sounds on your computer too loud? Don't want to wake your folks? Don't want to get complaints from neighbors? Whatever, not a problem. Lower the volume on your speakers. Now that doesn't really work for you. Instead, grab some headphones. You walk through the dark with that slight paranoia, the old childhood fear of the dark. It never really goes away, but it's all in your head, and you know that. You find your room, you dig through your drawers and your junk to feel for some wires. Ah, there they are. Time to head back to the computer. Drop them on your computer desk and go grab a drink of water. Come back and sit down comfortably. Throw on your headphones. You hear a dark ambient sound in the background. A liquid dripping sound. Even some metallic grinding there too. Is it from outside? You take off the headphones and suddenly the sound goes away. You think for a moment, suspicious and even frightened. You slide the headphones back on. There it is again. There's some high-pitched frequency you hear as well. You rip them back off, thinking this is just a joke. It's gone again. You slide them back on and turn the volume on your speakers all the way down. You even break off the switch, trying to make the sound disappear. But it remains. But then suddenly you notice something. Something you feel stupid for not noticing before. Your headphones aren't even plugged in. But wait, the wire is dangling straight out, stretching into the darkness elsewhere. You try to pull it towards you, but nothing. You must have gotten stuck on something, you think. But when was I even over in that area? You walk blindly into the darkness, using the wire as a guide through. The wire is longer than you once remembered, much longer than how you remember. What the hell is this? You say in your head. The further you go, you finally feel something on the wire. It's a heavy, gooey, mucky, liquid solid matter. You pick up your hand and bring it close to your face to see what the substance is. It's dark and it glistens off the glow of your computer screen, which is now a lot farther away from you than it should be. You glance at your computer setup and back at your hand. But in that quick glance at your computer setup, you notice something. You saw something there, standing there, and staring at the dark and dull light radiating off of your computer monitor. Not only did you hear something, but you heard something as well. A heavy, gooey, mucky, dripping sound. You look back at your computer setup as the tall, man-like figure there glistens in the light. If the end of your headphone wire is somewhere in the dark, why would you... Are you that curious? Are you that curious to grab it and follow it to see the end of it? Why are people so curious? Why can't y'all mind your own business? See, you wouldn't be trapped in this darkness holding a gooey, sticky substance and staring at a man who probably occupies your life if you didn't follow the wires of your headphones, if you weren't curious, if you just mind your own business. The headphone's not working? Okay, don't use it then. Go to sleep. It's late. You should be asleep anyways. Why are we grabbing and following where the headphone is? Have we not learned? Like, why are we like this? No, why are you like this? Not me. Who's we? There's no we, not me. Why are you like this? Why are you so curious? Because if it were me and my headphones is not working, I would just, whatever, give it up, go to bed, go to sleep. Because if my headphone is not working in the middle of the night, that's a signal for me that I should be sleeping. I shouldn't be staying up. If things stop working for me in the middle of the night, I'm turning everything off. I'm going to bed. Yeah, like that should be a sign from above, from whatever religion, whatever God you believe in. That should be a sign from the universe telling you should go to bed. Stop being curious. Go to bed. Well, that concludes the 7th story. I feel like the more I scroll through these stories, the longer it gets. So short stories where now it is long story. See, I didn't plan on reading long stories in my channel this early on. I was gonna kind of like ease into it, start reading longer stories. But because of this forum that I found, the stories on there were pretty long. Like if you guys watch part one, there were two stories that were at least over 10 minutes of me read, like at my reading speed, over 10 minutes. And I'm scanning through the story, like I'm kind of like scrolling down. I'm seeing that some stories are pretty long. I do want to say that these stories are pretty okay. They're not extremely scary or creepy yet. Like I haven't find a site where the stories are crazy to the point where I'm scared off my shit. But I believe I will find some one day. So there's no lose hope here. But this week's stories, they're pretty good. I think this forum, most of the stories here, I kind of noticed that they focus more on like one person kind of story, like more like conversational rather than third person, which that's really nice. I do prefer conversational stories since it feels like I'm there with them, which enhance the experience of you getting scared. But then again, I'm so used to horror stories, so it's kind of hard for me to find one that's really scary. Also, it's like bright as fuck. I'm literally staring at my window, which is shining light into my eyeballs. So the more reason that is not scary to me, at least. Though if you are watching this at night or listening to this at night, hopefully it is a little bit scary for you. Hopefully my videos are a little bit scary for you. I do try to read it in a voice where it's a soothing, creepy, calm, quiet, just to help with the experience, since I'm trying to make up for the lack of actual scares in the stories. I do think part one stories were a lot better than part two stories. Hopefully part three stories are really really good, since I feel like the more I go down, the more better it gets. So hopefully it stays that way. Other than that, once again, the site will be linked in the description below. You're free to check it out, read everything, and then go back to my video and watch me or not watch me. I do feel like this week's video is a little bit short, which is fine since I was gonna read another story, but then that story is pretty long as well. So I'm just gonna put in part three, and I have a big feeling that this is gonna be 4 parts. Stay tuned for part 3 and then stay tuned for part 4. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's video, and I hope to see you guys next week. Remember to look in your walls because I am in them, and I am not getting out anytime soon unless you pay me to get out. Then yeah, I would definitely get out. I mean, I'll do anything for money. Anyways, hope to see you guys next week. Bye.